All right, everybody, Corey Noel here, and I've got another veteran fitness journey here for you. And this is, he was a work colleague and a friend of mine. We served at the same unit for years, and we also served at a recruit and leadership school as well. All right. Great guy, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. All right, and just like a lot of us, we go through our struggles once we retire. As we're going through that search and that transition for who are we, and trying to figure out, trying to figure out who we are. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this story. It's pretty inspiring. It's pretty motivating. And it's just another example that everyone has a story. Everybody does. So this is retired Sergeant Dave Sabados. All right, check it out. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Retired David Sabados. I was in the artillery air defense from 1985 to 2014 when I was forced retired, medically retired. So I had a good career, and like everybody else, my dream was I'm going to go home, I'm going to sit on the couch, and I'm going to watch TV. Well, that didn't work out. I became a realtor shortly after retiring, got my licensing, and now employed with Keller Williams Capital Realty here in Moncton. Um, Being a realtor, has its downfalls if you're not careful. I ended up at around 230 pounds. I was a much rounder person. And for me, 230 pounds is big. I should be about 170, 175. But at 51 on Boxing Day at 4 a.m., I had a massive heart attack. And it was a huge eye opener. I was not supposed to survive the trip to St. John, New Brunswick to get stints put in. They were quite surprised. They got me out of the ambulance and got me fixed up in a real hurry. There was no waiting and no questions, and I didn't have a choice in the matter. It was just in and out. Let's go. Right. So, of course, the look on my wife's face when she walked into the room, finally getting into St. John to find out that I'd already been on the table. I already had my stints put in, and realizing that the doctor had told her to be prepared to show up at St. John to identify me. It was a huge motivator for me, a huge, huge motivator for me. So my cardiologist also informed me that I was a diabetic. Have a heart attack, you're a diabetic. Not insulin, but you're on medication for the rest of your life. Right? So I had to stop, take a look, and say, this needs to change. And if I want to be around to enjoy my kids, my grandchildren or future grandchildren, I need to smarten up. I need to get back into life and get back into the proper way of doing things. And yeah, so I started to take it seriously. I changed my diet. I went from 230 pounds. I went down to about 100 and I want to say 185 to 190 pounds, right? Still not target weight. And I would get asked all the time, how did you do that? Like, what program were you on? What kind of magic juice are you drinking? And it's simply the Canada Food Guide. It was as simple as that. It's a stupid pie chart that tells you what should be on your plate. And that's what I did. And that's it. That's all I did. I lost all that weight in like 4 months. No problem. And I noticed that I was getting like weak. Yeah, and I don't mean weak as in weak-minded. Some may already agree with that, but I mean climbing stairs was hard. Not hard, but strenuous, and everyday tasks. Mowing the lawn was just it was just exhausting. And then I realized, so after talking to my cardiologist, he told me you need to go to a gym, you need to get active, or if you're not going to join a gym, then start going for walks, start light jogs. You need to get active because I was scared after my heart attack. I just thought if I strain myself too much, I'm going to have another one. But that's not the case. It's quite the opposite. So I joined a gym and I went there and I did all the wrong things. I did all the military things, which are all the wrong things. When you're in the military, you train for military maneuvers, for military exercises. That's what you're training for. But you're not training to be in the best shape of your life. And neither am I, don't get me wrong. I am training to be in good shape, but I soon learned from one of the gyms that I had joined that I needed to move into different types of exercises away from cardio. Still need to do cardio, but I started doing more weight training, more free weights, which I had never done in my life before, and I had no idea how to do. So, but now I'm doing them. I've gotten to my target weight of between 170 and 175. I kind of bounce back and forth because, um, you know, here's what happens: you get unmotivated sometimes. Prime example. Last couple of months, I didn't even go to the gym. I just didn't want to. And um, then I realized what a fool I am going that far, getting to that level of training, and then just kind of like in the military going on holiday and not really wanting to do PT after, right? So I am back at it. I do get back at it. And I had the conversation in my head with myself, and your will too. It's going to be a mental fight sometimes. You think to yourself, I don't need to do this. I'm not in the military. I don't, what do I do that for? I'm going to sit here and have my coffee and my donut or whatever you're having, right? But results speak, and your mind, your subconscious knows that, and you will win that fight with that little red devil on the other shoulder there that's telling you to stay put and not do anything. Um, so I do motivate myself that way. Sounds a little bit weird. I do have my morning fight with myself, but I always prepare the night before. I get everything ready to go, and I see it. It's all over the place where I have to go during my routine, pick all this stuff up, go in my bag so I can get to the truck and go to the gym. So as soon as I see it, it's kind of like a little motivator for me. Oh yeah, pick that up, put that in there, put this again, and off I go. So if you find yourself unmotivated, you'll find your own little tricks. You'll find ways of talking to yourself, even of putting little reminders around, maybe even before and after pictures. Before I was 230 pounds, round as a ball. And now look at you, you're 170 pounds and you're lean and you're actually muscular and you're not finding things strenuous. So yeah. Get unfocused, find your focus. And it's not hard to do. It's just a mental block that you will put up and you just need to tear it down. Goals. Next for me, I don't have physical goals. I shouldn't say that. I do have physical goals. I want to stay tall. I want to stay in shape. I want to be the guy who's 60 that looks like he's 40, right? Um, is it going to happen? Who knows? But I am not going to give up trying, and nobody should give up trying. And you should be wanting to stay around longer and living healthier. And if it's not just for you, maybe it's for family members. For me, it's for my wife. It's for my son and my yet to come grandchildren. And I want to be around to enjoy them. And I mean, my son's in no hurry to have kids, so I have to be in every hurry to stay in shape so that I can be around when he does have, right? I have to spoil them, and I have to be the guy that yeah, gives them everything, gives them the sugar to climb the walls, so I can send them home to them. Yeah. I mean, if there's anything to take away from it, you don't get into shape for anybody else. You don't try to live a healthy lifestyle for anybody else. Now, for the reasons being that you are doing it to be around for those people, yes, but you're doing it for you. It's to keep your mental state and your physical state in an ever moving forward motion, and to impress yourself. Nobody else. There's nobody else that needs to be impressed. Only yourself. That guy that's in there or girl that's in the mirror looking back at you needs to be impressed with what they're seeing, not with what you're looking at. Get it? All right. I hope this helps.
Okay, so what a story. I mean, like, you know, again, it just reminds me is that we all live within this bubble, you know, and then we forget at times that everybody has a story. All right. And that was kind of, after getting the idea from a friend of mine about doing this, I was like, man, this is a great idea to share other veterans' stories of where they were and how they were lost and how they found their way again. Okay. So I really hope you enjoy the story. I hope it's reaching some more veterans out there, or I hope those of you can use this as a tool to help someone you know that is struggling and hasn't found their way back to an active lifestyle. All right. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to Dave. What a great story, man. And I really appreciate you taking the time to send me this video. All right. If there's anyone else out there that is inspired to tell their story, please message me, reach out to me. I would love to share, okay? Because I believe that the more stories that we can share, the more people that we're gonna reach, which in turn I hope is the more people we're helping, okay? So, till next time, Corey Noel, the veteran trainer, out.